I think everybody needs an improv class. I really, really believe that because it is a mindset for life. It is a way to live life with saying yes to ideas, yes to each other, yes to somebody else's story or reality. I think I think once you set up a feeling of psychological safety within the group, people play and they play big and they play hard.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think if you set up that environment that we all are here for each other and it's okay to fail, then I think there isn't anything that you can't do. And I think that is what is transferable also in the workplace. Hello.
Hi, Tara.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
Thanks so much for reaching out to me. My question is, how did you hear about Close Encounters Theater?
Well, amazingly, you came on my news feed on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Good old
my,
Instagram.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I was so impressed with what you're doing. I didn't even know a theater like yours existed in Zurich. And I thought, and you doing such amazing work, and you putting up these great performances. And yeah, so I thought I would love to speak to you.
Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have a really amazing team. The team at Close Encounters is really, really beautiful. And so I think that's how all these things are possible.
Mm.
So when you have a good team, I think anything is possible.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not originally from Zurich.
No, I'm from Canada.
Mm.
Yes, so I'm from Canada, and then I moved to Zurich because I fell in love. So I
Okay.
left Canada, and then I thought, I really want to have this dream of opening up a studio, and it was kind of always my lifelong dream, and so that's why it came into action because I wanted to do something really purposeful and meaningful. Yeah.
And you're a dancer yourself.
No, I wish I have the soul of a dancer,
Oh, I see.
I
Okay.
am not a dancer. No, I started in acting and singing and improvisation. So that's
See.
those are my specialty areas. Yeah.
And yeah, and you're also working with children. I mean, you've your theater is sort of you have children training children, and you
Yeah.
have adults, and I see you
Yeah.
do corporate.
Yes.
So it's so what a wide range of things that you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so we have children's classes in Broadway academies, so they're learning singing, dancing, and acting. And then the youth at the moment are doing Annie the musical, Annie Junior. So those are the teenagers, and then the adults. There's all these different classes. Yeah, and at the moment we're doing Almost Maine, which is a beautiful piece of writing. So we're doing that with the adult actors, and coming up in October we'll do Grease the musical.
Oh wow, my
Yes.
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, is it? Okay. Yeah. Yes. And
Oh,
lots of work,
beautiful.
lots of work in the corporate world. I think it's really interesting how theater has great intersections with business
Mm.
about how do we use our bodies and our voices to communicate meaning, and what is our body saying about us, and how can we really capitalize on our 93% of our communication to really elevate what we're saying. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I spoke to a comedian. Well, he used to be a comedian in South Africa, but then they also founded this company where they work also in the corporate world, bringing also the creative side. You know, how you work with, how you talk to people, how you sort of, also break those boundaries where you cannot communicate, or that you cannot communicate authentically. Like
Yeah.
he was saying, it's like just being yourself, and knowing that it's fine to speak, and tell your story, and
Yes,
how you communicate.
exactly. Yeah, it's all about bringing yourself to your workplace, bringing your story. Yeah, and taking space.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in also the work that you do with children, because I'm very passionate about the fact that children should be doing some form of art, and they don't necessarily have to become actors or dancers or singers, but that pursuing an art form also brings with it these transferable skills.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly it. It's not like everyone that puts their child in a course is going to become a Broadway, singer or actor. It really is about these soft skills of how do we work together as an ensemble? How do we learn to listen to each other? How do we make our team look good? So it's not me, 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 and you, but it's really learning these skills of being part of an ensemble, and who and how do I need to be in the ensemble to make it function. And these are skills that you need for life on any team that you will ever be part of. So yeah, I don't teach the children myself, but I have amazing educators that work with them, and they do really incredible things, but mostly they're teaching them actually how to function in a group, right? How do we listen empathically to one another? How do we say yes and to each other's ideas? So yes, they're learning theater, but they're also learning how to communicate effectively.
Well, I spoke to a conductor of a youth orchestra once, and he said that before you even get to the music, there's so much about the orchestra, about that feeling that you are part of something and part of a group, and also, like you say, working with each other or listening to each other, and these are all, like you say, such valuable skills that you take with you, whatever you do in the future.
Exactly. And also confidence. The only way that we get brave is by doing things that scare us. So in order to build the courage muscle, we have to do scary things. We're not going to get brave by sitting at home and going, I think I can, I think I can. So, and I know, for me, my story as well, I was a very, very shy child and full of social anxiety. And I always wonder, if I didn't discover the arts, where would have I been today? Because I don't think I would have been as courageous as I am without theater.
And I think some children just need that way to express themselves, that they maybe need just that encouragement to express themselves in a way.
Exactly. Yes.
And the adults that you work with, I see you have sort of acting training courses, but then you have also improv type of workshops.
Yeah, improv and musical theater and voice classes and dance classes. But the improv is also, I think, one of the most beautiful art forms for learning how to play, learning how to be innovative, learning how to fail with joy, learning how to say yes and to each other's ideas and being empathic. So I think improv is a mindset for life, not only for improv. Yes, it's about being generous and having a spirit of generosity and making our partners look really good.
But wonderful that, is it also, are people sort of, is it easy to get people to improvise? Is it, because I just, when I see these classes, I always think, okay, so, but how would I do it? But is it something that people need, or that they really want to do?
I think everybody needs an improv class. I really, really believe that, because it is a mindset for life. It is a way to live life, with saying yes to ideas, yes to each other, yes to somebody else's story or reality. I think I think once you set up a feeling of psychological safety within the group, people play and they play big and they play hard. And
Okay.
I think if you set up that environment that we all are here for each other and it's okay to fail, then I think there isn't anything that you can't do. And I think that is what is transferable also in the workplace, right? What would happen if you have a workplace where people are saying yes to each other's idea and they're listening empathically and they're making each other look good, and we have this feeling of connection and safety. So if we could transfer what I see in an improv class to the business world, which is something that's
yeah.
part of my work, I think there's nothing that couldn't be achievable in the workplace because it is such a beautiful mindset. So, yeah.
But how easy is it for the corporate world to accept this?
Yeah. Well, I think more and more, actually. I think more and more people and companies are starting to see the benefits of improvisation, even on a level of wellness, right? That it's the importance of play for being innovative and happy, and also connection and knowing the people that you work with on a little bit of a different level, on a creative level. I think this has enormous impact in the workplace. So, yeah. And so we're getting there. We're getting there. I mean, I do way more executive presence workshops than I do improv workshops, but yeah, even I know I always feel, as soon as I walk into a corporate gig, I always can feel the energy of the room going, oh God, what are you going to make us do? But after
I can imagine.
they really start to play and very creatively. So yeah, so it is possible. It is, and it's exciting.
But it's sometimes also if you can reach management, then it's easier to become, to get to the rest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if you can convince management that this is working, then they can see why it should be implemented.
Yeah. Yes. Usually I have people say, can we call it anything else but improv? Can we call it business communication? And
okay.
Yeah. So anyways, but just recently I did some work with a company, and they said, can we call it something really dynamic? Like, they actually wanted the opposite. So they said, we don't want it to be called present yourself. We want it to be called like express yourself, or so this was very different, but this was also coming from management, that they wanted something that would take people out of their comfort zone. And I always say, I don't want to put people into panic zone, but we learn when we're being stretched. So I always promise I will never put anyone in panic zone, but I will comfortably stretch people to do things they never thought they could do. Yeah.
I think this is amazing. I mean, I think this is so needed, isn't it? Because it just makes communication so much different.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I think, this morning I woke up to this beautiful message from a student that just said, I sang at my staff Christmas party, and I never ever thought I would ever do that because I was always a shower singer. And she said, fundamentally, doing classes shifted her confidence, shifted her opinion of herself, that she actually could take more risks. And she said, because she sang at that Christmas event, that everyone started looking at her differently, almost with more status. I thought that was a really interesting thing. Yeah. So I think the implications of, most of our students are all working professionals. They're not people that say, hey, I really want to be an actor. Some of them are, right? Some of them are young and want to go to acting schools and want to pursue it. But the majority of our students are lawyers, doctors, bankers, and they are taking it as professional development, as a way to learn how to be present, to learn how to take space in a room, to really use their body and their voice. So that's
again, transferable skills,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
spoke to young and you, because you work also with young people, but I spoke to drama students at a high school in South Africa, and they were about 15 years old.
Yeah.
And already they could see, they're not going to become actors or actresses, but they can already see at their age what they can take with them. And I thought, how amazing that actually they have that sort of
awareness.
Understand that already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think really one of the biggest benefits is actually this is growing your courage. I think that's what it helps the most with, right? Just realizing that I did this thing, I didn't die. So what else can I jump? What else can I risk? Right? Yeah. So it is about risk taking. And I think the more you risk take, the more you grow. Yeah, and the more fully you become who you are. So
and your dance classes, are they all age ranges as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all ages.
And what ballet and contemporary, what do you teach?
So I really wanted contemporary. I think maybe it's a bit saturated, the market here for contemporary. So we mostly do Broadway musical theater, jazz. And I did have a tap dance class.
Oh, wow.
And I really want to bring it back. It's just, I don't know how many people are interested in tap, but I think it's such an amazing thing to do, especially when you're older and you might not be as flexible. It's super good for agility training and rhythm, and it's just so much fun. And you don't need to, kick your leg into a grand battement. Like you can just, put on your shoes and have some fun. So I hope that class comes back because it's great. Yeah.
I love tap dancing. And I actually spoke to a flamenco dancer who is doing flamenco, but also a bit more contemporary. And we were talking about the feet, how this rhythm, how you speak almost. He feels his feet are his voice, how
Yes.
Yes. And I think, it's that rhythm. I think that's what we enjoy watching, but also what a performer, loves doing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, telling a story.
Yeah. And then I also see you have a comedy club.
Are you talking about the improv festival coming up?
Oh, that could be.
Comedy House. Yes.
Oh, Comedy House. Yeah. I thought it was.
Comedy House, exactly. Yeah. We mostly work out of Miller's, which is a beautiful theater here. But for this particular festival, we're going to be at Comedy House. And so, we started a festival last year, an improvisation festival in English. So this is the second year of the festival. And I think it's going to be an incredible lineup. So we've got workshops and professional improv shows and people coming from all around the world to perform and give workshops. So that's in June. That's going to be so exciting.
Tara, do you have a magic wand? Because I think it looks as though you just have this fantastic vision and everything happens because your theater is, or your theater school, do you call it your theater school or?
Yeah, theater academy,
Theater academy, it's amazing what you do.
That's very kind.
How did that start? How you said you wanted to have that, but what was the first step you took?
Yeah, the first step was I always had this dream. I want the studio. And then I came into contact with a magical person that does have a magical wand. And her name is Joanne Wilmot. And I met her because I was teaching at that time at the Zurich International School. I was teaching theater there. And she came in and she said, "Hey, I'm looking for work. I'm a dancer and theater person." And we met and we went out for dinner. And I just felt this spark of connection. And I said, what I would really love to do is start a studio. And she said, "Hey, me too." And that's how it started. It started on an impulse that this is the right person to start this company with. And so we we basically said, okay, let's do it. And then we built a website and then we started. And I think she started with like, I don't know, 5 or 10 people in a contemporary dance class. And I started with 10 people doing a clown and comedy class. And that's where it started. So yes,
Amazing.
yes.
And
Yeah.
you do it in German? You teach in German or in English?
It's all in English. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really an English speaking academy. Yeah. Which means that we have this incredible culture of people. So we have people literally from all around the world. So basically, nobody really speaks English as a first language. There are a couple of people. So this is also incredible because people are performing and improvising in languages that are not their mother tongue, which I find astounding because I don't think I could ever improvise in another language other than English. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Or even
fascinating.
acting, acting in something that is not your heart language.
Mm.
Yeah. But they do
I
amazingly well. So,
yeah, I can understand because my first language is Afrikaans. And I
yes,
do
right.
find, I express myself better in Afrikaans. So I can
Yes.
imagine if you do an improv class, to do it in English or to do it in a different language. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yes. This is why you have this beautiful accent. This is the
Oh,
most beautiful accent. The Afrikaans accent is just so beautiful.
oh, really? Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I can't seem to lose it. I lived in the UK and I live here in Vienna and I can't seem to lose it. So
yeah, I don't think you want to lose it. So yes, I say keep it. Yes.
Oh, thank you. But Tara, tell me still, what do you have a dream? What are the wishes for you for the future?
Yeah, so this year at the end of the month, I'm turning 50. And, I think with any kind of big milestone birthday, you start thinking, okay, what do I want for this, section of my life? And I think I actually am really interested in the intersection of working in the corporate world with my theater background and seeing how I can elevate performance and leadership. And so I'm thinking of getting another degree, maybe one in positive psychology or leadership coaching. So I'm just looking at where should I focus? Organizational psychology. Yeah, but whatever I do in the corporate world will be really still informed by all my theater training. Yeah, because I think there's an interesting intersection.
Yeah, and amazing that you have that, that you can bring these two worlds together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I believe we all have art in us, and I think you just need somebody to help you to release it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I mean, we're all creative. We all are creative beings. And no matter what job you're in or what you're doing, right, we all need to play. We all need to innovate. So, yeah.
But thank you so much for your time, Tara. This is so wonderful to talk to you and to know the person behind these amazing works that I see on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to be here with you. It's very, very kind.
It's a great pleasure. No, I love to talk about the art and, to find the people who make the differences in children, especially children's lives. Yeah. And also, making adults see, because you sometimes see parents also focus so much on the academics and they don't realize, but they should give their children the opportunity to do art, because that will also help them, for the future and we need creatives in the sciences,
Yes. We need creatives everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what brought you to doing this podcast?
Well, I did a project over lockdown because 2 of my children were ballet dancers here at the Staatsballet, and I realized how difficult it was for them to be confined, and not be in the theater. And then I started photographing artists in their windows just to sort of brighten their day or so. And then I started hearing all these stories, and I just thought, hey, the world should know what we see a performance and we don't realize what the story is behind the person. So I've now done about 800 interviews, and I can tell you everybody's story is different. And it's just amazing, and it's so inspirational to hear what people do and their outlook on things and why they do the art. But I'm delving into art, and as I say, it's my passion to see children. I would love to see, and this is my wish, is that if we start talking to artists, or if we hear artist stories, that people started realizing how important it is to have that as part of their education, or at least send your child to drama class or to music class,
Yes. I love that, because because there is so much benefit emotionally, psychologically.
Absolutely.
It is just so important to create a full, the fullness of who we are. So, and again, if you use it or not in the future, you are going to benefit. Yeah. So
exactly. And I just think how many times people have asked my children, but what's your real job?
Yeah, right. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Because they don't see it as an important thing that you do. So, I think this is what I asked myself during lockdown. And when I photographed all these artists, I thought to myself, why is art not valued? Why are the theaters closed, but the restaurants and the shops are open? And 10,000 people visit Vienna per night to visit the theaters, yet the theaters are closed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started thinking, okay, but why are people not valuing art? And I think it's because it starts there. It starts with education. If you take drama class, or if you do dance class, you immediately have a different appreciation for dance.
Yes.
Or if you play the piano, you have a different appreciation for a musician.
Yeah.
So if we have to also think of the audiences of the future, and we have to, because that also, people also, artists tell you, somebody came to see a performance and they would come up to them and say, look, tonight you changed my life, or I was tired and I wasn't feeling like coming, but you just made me feel so relaxed and wonderful. And thank you for that. I mean, sorry, but no medicine can give you that, isn't it? So,
I feel that it's funny that you talk about that, like the emotional release or the connection. There's an amazing thing that happens, in classes when you're teaching, and you can have a terrible day and you come to class and it's just like the energy of that room, you just feel elevated. So just also on an emotional level, it's so important. And people that study then continue to create community. They then go on and sometimes create their own, pieces of theater in the city or whatever. But also, they also just hang out together socially. So it's also about, creating community, finding your people, finding like-minded people, So I'm listening to all these podcasts right now about, longevity and how to be healthy throughout life. And so much of it is about your connection to other humans, right? And this is what causes health and wellness as we age. And one of the best ways to do that is in a theater class. It's like emotionally healthy to do that, to seek out other people and to create together.